against this for now.
Yeah.
And like with Trump's recent statement of saying Jerusalem is now the capital of
Israel.
Yeah. That him saying that has made a big impact on the world just by the words of one person.
Yeah.
So we kind of do set in stone certain things, and a lot of the countries don't have you can and won't say anything to us bad about it. Yeah, there'll be criticism about it, but they won't actually be like, you can't do that.
Yeah. What would you say, switching our conversation again a little bit, what would you say are the most important values in the world today? The values that people have. What are the most important values to promote? And by values, I mean principles and standards and just what's important what should be important to people.
Well, for me, what would be important is my family, my friends. That's the most important thing that I see.
And is that like loyalty, or is that
loyalty, like respect? Just giving your family, giving your friends and family the help they needed. So, like if I have a friend who's sad, just broke up with his girlfriend, I'll comfort them. I'll make sure that they're okay. I'll keep checking up on them, make sure that they're happy and get back up on their feet. Or if as me and my friend Miguel, he was low on money, he had nowhere to stay. I told him to come over to my house, and he could stay as long as he can. A year later, he was living here and left for the army. And I told my mom, I'm like, he's going to be living here for a while.
Yeah.
He'll live here. She's like, okay, yeah.
One of the themes in what you've said is the importance of, the word you used was brotherhood. So is friendship an important value then too?
Friendship to me, I think, is important. Is really important to me because you're born into your family. They may be your family. Like I do have a biological brother, but I feel like my best friend is more of my brother than my actual brother. Because I got to pick who he was. I feel like if he passed away and then my brother passed away, I'd feel a lot sad that I lost someone that I picked as my friend than someone I was born with. Because I could resent my family and hate my family, but I picked that one person. That person was my choice of someone who mattered to me.
Yeah. What are some other values that you think are important, particularly ones that may be lacking in the world today?
Discipline. Discipline is something that's missing a lot, because there are people who don't know how to be disciplined. They don't know when to shut up, or they don't know what to say at certain times.
Yeah.
Because there'll be a moment of silence and someone will say something stupid, and they need to shut it.
Yeah.
The discipline is something else that I feel is there, and then more of I think it's like a happier vibe for people. Like you gotta be more energetic about something.
Like optimism.
Yeah.
Or
like more optimistic about life, about working, about growing up instead of being a kid. Because I know there's people who are handed everything their whole life and they want to stay a kid forever. I realized that after serving that, I can't be a kid forever. Yeah. I have to grow up sooner or later, and if I keep acting like a kid, I'm gonna end up broken on the street.
So is it thinking of a word that would make that a value? Are you talking about maturity?
Maturity,
and acting like a grown up.
Really. Yeah. Maturity, acting like a grown up.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that seems.
Yeah, that's kind of
seems to me what you're saying.
Yeah,
acting like an adult.
Acting like an adult.
There are a lot of childish.
Because I know 26-year-old who acts like he's 15.
Yeah.
And I know a 15-year-old who acts like he's 30.
Yeah.
And I look at them too, and I'm just like, you should be starting a family right now. And this guy should be like you. You should be having.
So are there adults that are that way too, or people in the public sphere, politicians,
I feel like
sports, athletes?
I feel like athletes definitely they act like children.
Yeah.
Because I've run into a few on the street, and my uncle's works at the fire department across from one of the main bars that most of the Blackhawks go and drink at.
Yeah.
And usually they have to go over, pick one of them up, and bring them into the fire department and sober them up.
No kidding. Yeah.
And I've run into a few who were completely drunk, walking down the streets of downtown Chicago, no one realized who they were but me, because some hockey player, you can't tell it's hockey player because most of them have a mask on.
Uh-huh.
But I looked and I was like, oh. I'm like, hi, and then they just threw up, and I'm like, oh, never mind. You must be drunk.
Yeah.
You couldn't take responsibility and get a ride home, or are you just walking around the city drunk?
Yeah.
And then there's people who are my age, 20, and then there's younger who are acting like full adults, support, paying for people's bills, paying stuff off, not going out and having fun, but working 9 to 5, or even.
So it's all part of it's maturity and acting like an adult, and responsibility, taking responsibility, is part of that.
Disciplining yourself to
and
do
discipline.
something.
They're all kind of related, but they're different too.
Yeah.
So is that good? Is that enough for a list? Do we want them to choose what's most important right now?
From the one that said.
So, and the question we're asking is, what's personally important? What two are personally most important?
No, we're using our most important in the world today.
Important in the world today and need to be emphasized. Okay.
Acting like an adult. That's something I feel is the most important, is acting like an adult.
So taking responsibility, is that a good way to say that?
Yeah, kind of. She has taken responsibility and acting like an adult.
We also said optimism and discipline.
Yeah, what's your second one?
My second one, friendship.
All right.
I would pick friendship.
Yeah. So what I hear him saying is taking responsibility for yourself or for others too.
For me, I always think of it as both.
Yeah.
When it comes to taking responsibility, I take it as you're taking responsibility for everything.
Right.
You're not just taking responsibility for what you did.
Yeah.
You're taking responsibility for your friend.
Yeah.
If your friend gets drunk and you're sober, you don't want to leave them
stranded
somewhere. You want to take care of them.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
I want to put this right here.
Okay, excellent. Hold those out. Okay. So let's move on to heroes.
Oh, okay.
You know, who do you admire today? It could be somebody in your personal life, someone from sports, TV, internet, politics. Who do you admire?
There's one person on social media that I admire for. He's a veteran. He has his own business. He kind of sparked my. He was one of the reasons I joined the military. His social media name was John Burke. Mm-hmm. He has his own TV show. He was on Fox TV for a TV show and all this stuff. And I looked at him and it was like, he was a grunt in the military and went from being just a normal grunt to social media, like big in social media, was on TV, was on the news, was on so many platforms that he's made a name. He has his own business.
So what are the values that he represents?
I don't know the values per se, but he was able to build himself up from nothing. And that's something I want to do. I want to be able to go from having just the bare minimum to I'm contributing to more charities. I'm giving more away. I'm able to kind of start an own business.
So it's partly what you're talking about is success, material success, which is a value. A lot of people value that. But also explain the charitable giving piece of it, or helping others.
Because my best friend, he told me his backstory, and after that I found out like there are some kids who have it a lot worse than some people have it. My best friend being an example, his mother tried selling him to his own father for crack. So when he told me his whole backstory, I was like, you know what? There are kids that are less fortunate than me. I would, if I had the money, I would give the money to orphanages for those kids, or some type of organization that helps those kids out, and then there are also organizations that helps homeless veterans or veterans in general. Like my shirt that I buy, half the proceeds always go to a veteran-based company or veterans.
All right, so I would say two things: material success, but also giving back to society. Are two values associated with that guy. Who else is a hero? Who else is one of your idols?
Oh wow, one of my idols.
It could be, it could be somebody you know. It could be somebody a politician or a sports star or?
I've really never thought of that